Welcome back. Welcome back to Linux shell scripting and DevOps series. So today we are going to discuss. We are going to start a new concept, Docker. So we have entered into Docker series. So today is the first class. So kindly subscribe and support me, and please do share all the videos and playlist. Already till now we have made, you know actually, like DevOps, entire DevOps I'm going to do, and till now we have completed AWS entire series, and also Linux and shell scripting. So now we have entered into this Docker, so DevOps course. So kindly do share entire playlist, Linux, AWS and shell script. Okay, so let's get into topic. One second, let me share my screen. Hi guys. Hi guys, good morning.
Hi sir, morning.
How are you doing?
Fine sir.
Hi, sir.
Can you see my screen, guys? Is it visible?
No sir.
Okay, one second. Now it's visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How are you guys? How are you doing? How is your practice?
Yes, sir. It's going well.
Good. Okay. I just have prepared entire Docker syllabus. See. So what is Docker? What is container? What is the history? Okay. What is the Docker usage? Docker architecture. Okay. So there are some unnecessary topics also is there. I'll avoid all those whenever it's required. I'll So main content only will when we have to focus. So this is the topic. So all syllabus I prepared. So till last. Okay. So I have to do more editing also still. Docker, what is Docker CLI? Amazon CLI, right? You have seen AWS CLI, like Docker CLI. Okay. So what are the containers? What are the images? Okay. This is the syllabus. Okay. So don't worry about this. So we'll go bit by bit. Okay. Step by step process we have to follow. That is my always my policy. Okay. So today we have to actually we have entered into this DevOps course. In this DevOps course, Docker is very most important, because how containers are very most important for Kubernetes also. That is a big concept in Kubernetes. So for Kubernetes, Docker is the basic one. Without ABCD you should not move into 10th class like SSA, right? So like it is a basic. Okay. So for Docker basic, Linux. So like that, one by one process we are moving. So let's get into topic. So first of all, do you have any idea about Docker? You guys, any general?
No sir.
No.
Like
Okay.
it's a container, but not clearly
Hmm.
or briefly. I know sir.
Okay. So like just name, right? You don't know exactly how to create the containers and how to build the
No,
images
sir.
and all, right? Okay.
No, sir.
No sir.
Okay. One second. One second, guys. I think. Yeah, it's working. Fine. So we are talking about Docker. Okay. In DevOps world, everybody, like, it's it's upgrading and it's adding every day in DevOps. First of all, we have to talk about DevOps. DevOps, there are a lot of tools, okay, continuously upgrading, okay. Earlier initially they have added like Jira, okay. So initially very starting, after that one tool, okay, like initially Docker, okay, and also no small like Jenkins, okay. So every day like Terraform also, it's a part of Jenkins now, okay, and some Nexus, okay, everything whatever operationals related, everything whatever tools are getting, automation tools like Ansible and all. So all the tools are included in this DevOps, right? So out of which Docker is also part of DevOps, right? So day to day, every uh, you know, always trying to upgrading the DevOps. So it's while upgrading, every new tool is getting, okay, adding new tools, and out of which Docker is also one of the DevOps tool, okay. So we are getting tools continuously. Not sure it will stop with Terraform, okay. Continuously whatever the operations related, it will add into this DevOps only, okay. Docker, what is exactly Docker? Why Docker? So first of all, while we are going into this direct topic, directly we should not how to create the container, how to create the images. Before doing this all these exercises, first of all you should know about what is Docker. So what is the purpose of Docker? Why we need to use the Docker? So what if no Docker? So what is the disadvantage? What are the advantages of Docker? Okay. So these are all things. First of all, you have to know concept based. So then only you can understand. Oh yeah, it is the useful. Otherwise, no. If you don't know the concept, so if you learn the Docker also, nowhere you must not know where you have to use, when you have to use, okay. First of all you should do focus on the concept, where what is the purpose of Docker, okay. So it is actually future, okay, and also it's currently running and a big running tool, okay. So many people doesn't know, actually many people doesn't know what is the container, what is image, okay. But without all these things also, they are trying to learn directly commands, how to build the uh, container, how to create the image and all. But you have to know clear in depth what is the purpose, why it is existed, okay. So what is image, what is container, okay, how these are all will run, okay, where the containers will run, okay, why we have to use all this, okay. So in popular tools, okay, a lot of popular tools are there, okay. People are still confusing, okay. Even I also struggled before start the Docker, okay. While you know what, while I'm learning this Docker concepts, so I might got, I got bit confusion always, okay, what is the purpose of this, why I am doing this. So why, in the sense, before you thinking about why, so why Docker, in the sense, you have to know the history of the Docker, what is the purpose of Docker, okay, why we are creating. So for that we have to do comparisons, okay, we have to understand the concept. That's what, that is the main. So my motto is, I'm trying to prepare a PPTs like this, I'm trying to prepare a PPT and simplified way. So main concept, what the purpose of it, okay. I'm designing this course to understand easy and simple, okay. Especially non-technical backgrounds like BSc, BCom, electrical, mechanical, civil people will be there, na. So they people mostly they will confuse themselves. So because they, at least you guys have knowledge on C programming, right? So computer background people can understand C programming. If they if I teach something about directly about programming or tools, so at least try to understand. But non-technical people cannot understand because they are coming from complete different background. So especially for Docker, for Docker, is for containers. Okay, so what is, first of all, Docker is a engine. Okay, it's a engine. Okay, if you see in Google also, you will get one ship. Okay, on the top of the ship, this is a ship, you know, it's a kind of ship. On top of this you have a containers. So image itself is indicating it containing the, okay, it containing the containers. Okay, so these things, so these are all containers are there. So they have designed it like this because it will, on one machine it will run plenty n number of machines. Okay, n number of containers. Okay, but in one OS, for suppose in your computer, in your laptop, in one OS, how many OS you can run? One OS only, right? But Docker is not like that. You can keep Linux, Windows, Mac, SUSE, okay, Ubuntu, anything, whatever the operations, so operating systems you have, you can able to do. So what is exactly the Docker? Okay, we can install this Docker engine as an application. Okay, this Docker engine, for suppose you have a system. Okay, you have a system. Okay, in this your system, operating system will be there, right? This operating system, in system, first of all, if you go to operating system, before you have, in this system, before going to the system, you have hardware. Okay, hardware like RAM, okay, CPU, processors. Okay, these are all comes under hardware. Okay, in this hardware, by using this hardware, your system, initially your system will start at least. Okay, first your system will start, that's fine. Okay, after starting this, your system, it will be empty. Okay, you have to install the operating system or kernel. For Linux, we have to call kernel. In Windows, we have to use operating system. So okay, that's fine. You have a 4 GB, for suppose. Okay, you have 4 GB RAM. Okay, this 4 GB is containing at least it will occupies 2 GB. Okay, 2 GB it will occupy. Once after installing the OS operating system, it will occupy 2 and 2.5 GB. Okay, fine. So after installing the OS, it's not final, right? So whatever the applications you need, that application you will try to install, right? Like PDF, okay, like Windows, what is that? MS Office, Windows MS Office, okay, and some other applications, whatever other applications, many applications, you whatever, sometimes themes also. Okay, there are a lot of whatever you needed, like games, something. So you will try to install your wish, whatever you want to install, you can install on this machine, right? So it will occupy around 3 GB, right? At least 3 GB. 1 GB is left. Only 1 GB is left. So now your requirement is, you as a developer, so you have Windows operating system. Okay, Windows operating system. In this Windows operating system, so you already occupied with your applications and operating system with 3 GB. 1 GB is left. This, with by using this 1 GB, you have one requirement, you as a developer. So you want other operating system. But you don't have any laptop, other system. You have to install in one machine other operating system. How? Right? So to do this, you have a concept called virtual machine. Okay, so in this virtual machine, So on top of this whatever operating system, on top of this operating system, you are going to install virtual machine. Virtual machine in the sense, if you want to install virtual machine, before that you have to do hypervising. You have to install hypervisor. Okay, what is a hypervisor? Hypervisor means, yeah, hypervisor,
It's related to hardware, sir.
virtual, yeah, it's a kind of like VMware, okay, Microsoft Hyper-V, okay, Citrix Gen, or so anything like this. On top of this Hyper-V, okay, on top of Hyper-V, you will install virtual anything mission related operating system, like example Linux. Okay, to run this, to do this all this process, after installing Linux, okay, you will run your system. Okay, so by doing this exercise, by doing this process, one machine, one hardware is bearing two operating systems, right? This one and this one, two operating system it is bearing, in the sense it, the load will be too much high, weightage will be too much high, processor will take too much load. For this, while doing all these things, your system performance will degrade, your system performance will get down. Understood, right? So to this by doing this process, your system definitely gets slow. Whatever, if you want to open Windows, any applications, or Chrome, okay, Google Chromes or PPTs, anything, if you want to open, it will continuously scroll like this. It will take too much time. Understood? Okay. So so for that we have a concept called Docker. This, how Docker will run, we'll see. Okay, so you understood, guys? You understood? Any doubts? We'll clear here itself.
No, sir.
Right, you understood,
No,
right?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you, if you get any small doubts also, you can ask, guys. It will be useful, sir, for someone, right? So which means, now what are the advantages? What are the advantages of Docker? One second, guys. I think it's clumsy. It will. Okay, thanks for waiting. So it is good than that, right? So I just would like to give a small comparison. So I'll try to explain there itself. So for suppose, if I come here, so this, okay, see, I told you, right? See this? First two. This one second, guys, charging down. So I'll give you some comparison. So you can see this image, right? So are you able to understand this image? So I'll tell you. Okay, so this is virtual machine. This is virtual machine, and first initially if you want to start anything, if you buy, okay, buy laptop, first of all hardware is a first point. Hardware. On top of hardware, so what we will have? Operating system, right? So if you buy laptop, after buying laptop you will try to install operating system, right? So the normal computer I'm telling, just leave about virtual machine, okay? Normal computer. So if you buy a laptop, after if you install after installing operating system, you may get something like Windows, right? Windows operating system you will get, okay? So Windows will get, right? So here the thing is, this is the main minimum basic for every system, okay? On top of this this machine you will run some applications, okay? Whatever application you want you will run here, all the applications you will install on applications, right? Okay, so this is one machine, this is basic machine, okay? So if you want to install virtual machine, okay, already on top of this basic virtual machine, again you have to install another operating system, okay? Okay, Linux, the same hardware will be the same, okay? You are going to install Linux, two operating system, okay? So other operating system, how you will install? For this, what kind of setup you need to do is, first you have to, this based on this hardware, the same hardware will be there, okay? On top of this machine, okay, on top of this machine you will install hypervisor, okay? Hypervisor means, so what are the names, what are the applications we have? Hypervisor, VMware, right? VMware, okay? Or Hyper-V. I used to use VMware, but it will take too much, almost 1.5 GB it will take. So on
Sir,
top of,
Oracle, sir, Oracle VM box, sir.
yeah,
Sure.
it is also comes under all these kind of things, okay?
Okay, sir.
So that is called as hypervisor. Hypervisor meanings whatever some VMware might be, virtual box, okay? Virtual box also, Hyper-V also, and also some Citrix Gen, okay? Citrix Gen. So by using any one of these, by after installing this, you will get Linux operating system. Like means on top of this you have to install other operating system like Linux. For Linux also it will take time, it will take some memory, right? It will take memory. To do this process it will take too much, okay? For suppose it has total 4 GB RAM, it is already occupied 3 GB and this will occupy 1 GB or more, okay? Something like this. So this machine, in the sense, what will happen is entire your system completely occupied, okay? Completely occupied with storage. So your performance will get down. Understood? So this is the virtual machine. For suppose if you go here, see Docker, this is, if you, for suppose, okay, no need, I thought to use this, but already I have deleted there, that's fine. So how Docker will run, see this is hardware, okay, this is your machine operating system, this is operating system, maybe Windows, okay. On top of this operating system you will install Docker engine, okay, Docker engine. So after installing Docker engine, okay, you will create the containers, okay, you will create the containers, container 1, container 2, container 3, like that n number of containers you can create, okay. In this, after creating the containers, inside the container you can create images, okay. This image called as anything like operating system, Linux, SUSE, okay, Ubuntu, Windows, okay, and Mac, anything it may be, okay. You can create the images, okay, operating system image, and you can run it, okay. After creating it, you can take this image and you can run. But the thing is, in previous whatever I have explained, in virtual machine or normal machine, it is highly weighted, means it will consume it will consume too much, it will take and consume more space, okay, which means highly weighted. It will take MBs, okay, it will take MBs, maybe 70 MB, 100 MB, 200 MB, like this much only MBs, it will be in MBs, it will not cross GBs, okay, which means light weighted. This containers also, whatever the containers which I have created, this container is also in MBs, okay. So see how the difference as compared to virtual machine, is it really having advantage or not, right? So Docker is a open source platform. Yeah, somebody is trying to ask.
So like in container, we can place many operating systems, sir, from in the form of images.
Yeah,
Single
many.
container.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you can run many. If you want to create, you can create number of containers. We'll come to that. Okay.
No, sir. In
So
single container, we can place many images on.
yeah, you can run the images, number of images if you want.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
So image 1, image 2 with the different names, you can run the images. Okay. So for example, sorry, I'm trying to explaining about advantages. So it is actually open source. This Docker is open source, right? This Docker is open source, okay, and it is a platform as a service. Platform as a service means you understood, right? What is the meaning of platform as a service and software as a service? Platform means which is, it will run physically in your system, okay. So this application you can able to install any system, you understood, okay. So it is an OS level virtualization to deliver software in package called containers. Docker, for suppose, so if you read this, if you try to say this, you see this, what is Docker? Docker is a platform that enables developers to build, deploy and run the applications inside lightweight portable containers. Containers is a package, an application and its dependencies together, ensuring that the application runs consistency across different environments. This can simplify development operations by providing standardized environment. This is technical terminology they have written, but many people cannot understand this. Okay, so that's the reason it is easy to explain. Okay, so you understood, right, this process, whatever I explained, this one. So if you read the abbreviations in the Google, it is bit confusing way. Okay, so why we have to use the Docker? So we will get these kind of abbreviations, lot of abbreviations in Google. Okay, you feel little no, like people cannot understand. Okay, so simply to simplify that, I'll tell you in like simplifying manner like this. Okay, so why we have to use the Docker? Question is that. So Docker is fine, I have explained. You might find some advantages. Okay, what Docker will do? Okay, what Docker will do is, whatever the code which has written by the software developer, okay, so it will make, abstract it, and it will make or build it as a package. Okay, it will build as a package. That package, okay, that whatever the image is there, that image we will store in image repository. Okay, by using that image repository, we will run the lightweight machines. Okay, already virtual machines are there, right? Already virtual machines are there, so why you need Docker? Yes, virtual machines are there, but these machines are highly weighted. Okay, so in virtual machine we have to install complete operating system. Okay, right? In this also, for suppose in one machine, in this also you have to install entire operating system. In virtual machine also, on top of this machine, when you use virtual machines, you have to install complete operating system. But when it comes to Docker, you no need to install under, in the sense you can pull the images. You can pull the images from Docker Hub. Okay, so which means it is very lightweighted. Okay, so these virtual machines, so all whatever with virtual machines are there, by using hypervisor we have to install entire operating system like base operating system. Okay, so virtual machines we will select like operating system. Okay, as per operating system or virtual machines will install according to that. So whatever needed applications, okay, we will configure and we will use it, right? Guys, I need your response. Are you able to getting this, whatever I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm trying to say is, in this virtual machine, whatever the virtual machine is there, this virtual machine entire operating system you have to install. Okay, whether you utilize it or not, whether you use it or not, you have to keep that virtual machine and it will occupy entire the space. Okay, whether you maybe you use it or not. Okay, for suppose I don't want to use, I can stop it. I want to delete, I can delete. I can remove the container, I can delete the container, I can stop the image. Okay, if you want to run, if you want to stop the container, you can stop the container. It is flexible, it is very flexible as compared to virtual, highly 100% if you compare with these two, highly flexible Docker. Okay, but we can't do this. You can't remove this software, right? If you remove it, it will collapse, right? So that is a way. Okay, here other important problem is issues is, so if the developer write a code on virtual machine, for suppose he have written, for suppose normal machine is there, if I remove this, okay, for suppose one laptop is there, okay, he written some code, okay, as a developer he will write a code in virtual machine, entire code will on the same machine, but the same code if you want to try to deploy into other machine, like here in this machine, okay, you have written some code in this, okay, the same code if you want to deploy, or if you want to use, or if you want to deploy in this virtual machine, it may run, it may not run, okay, there are chances not run, right, there might be chances not to run this code because of compatible issues, okay. So maybe maybe you have written code in Windows, so you are trying to deploy, or you are trying to use the same code in this Linux machine or Mac or some other, okay. So when you are trying to do this process, so due to some compatible issues code might not run, so these kind of issues also are there, right. So second machine, whatever virtual machine is there, there are some compatible issues, so that is also one big challenge. So these challenges are there, that's the reason, due to these reasons, heavy weight applications, okay, to perform these heavy applications, okay, and these machines, just because of these issues, these kind of problems, virtual machines are degraded, okay. And one concept called Docker came into picture, okay. For suppose, I'll remove this here, it's clumsy, okay. For suppose before Docker, so Windows machine, we might have Windows machine, okay, for suppose one company is there, okay, so there are different developers, okay, so like maybe some people can able to handle Windows, some people only might know only Linux, so developers, according to developers request, Windows, okay, Linux and Mac, for suppose, okay. So according to developer request, we will assign the laptops to particular developer. For suppose he want to install Java, okay, and Nginx, if they are, for example, if they are in same project, Nginx or MySQL, okay, if they are in a same project with a different machines, okay, Java, Nginx, MySQL, okay. So these three developers installed Java, Nginx, MySQL, same here also, okay. If they are trying to do this, for suppose they have written a code in this Windows, and he also written a code in this Linux, he also written code in Mac OS, okay. So they have used different platforms, okay. So for suppose, like for this whatever first developer is there, this developer he has written in on top of Windows machine, so this code, if he want to use this, or this code he want to use this, or this code if he want to use this, okay. So for suppose, even after writing the code, developer has to deploy code in production environment. Maybe for suppose, if you take it is a production environment, okay, if you want to deploy, his code in production environment. Okay, so maybe first whatever the developer he has written, that code might be written in Windows platform, but the production environment might be Linux. Okay, okay, so in this situation it is a issue, because if there is a compatible issue, if there is a different platform, just because of different platforms, okay, so there might this code might run, might not run. If it runs, that's fine. If not runs, again it is the issue, right? So ultimately whatever the platform it is there, we have to, wherever the platform, wherever the environment, maybe if it is production environment, maybe if it is development environment, maybe it is testing, whatever the environment, the platform, whichever the base platform is there, that machine should be compatible. Okay, if it is runs, fine. If not runs is the question, right? So in such case, if it is not runs, the issue, so lot of times this kind of problem has been raised in the production environment. You understood? So to avoid these kind of issues, we have a solution called Docker. For suppose I have a Docker engine. This is my Docker engine. Okay, so I have Windows machine, I have Linux machine, I have Mac OS MAC. Okay, so I have these kind of machines. Okay, right? So by using this Docker engine, you can able to install the application here, you can able to install the application here, you can able to install application here, you can able to install Docker engine any other platform, any kind of platform, might be Windows, might be Linux, might be Mac, might be other. You can install the package, engine, Docker engine as an application. Okay, so it will be similar. Docker will be the similar for any kind of operating system. Okay, to run that container, we should create a image. Okay, to run this container, maybe if it is Docker, we have installed Docker engine. For suppose if you take one machine. Okay, for suppose if you take one machine, this is Windows. Okay, so on top of this Windows, we will create containers. Okay, we'll create container. For suppose one container. On top of, after create the containers, we can install, we can create image. Okay, this is Windows machine, base machine, but the thing is, this is base machine. On top of base machine, we have installed Docker engine. Okay, Docker engine. By using Docker engine, I have created container. By using the by creating container, I can create an image, any type of image. Maybe if it is Linux. Okay, this Linux I can able to run. If you want to create, you can create another container. If you want to create another image, you can create another image. Okay, you can create like that number of containers, number of images with lightweight. Okay, with lightweight. So these are all very fast. Okay, also very fast, also very flexible. You understood, right? It is very flexible. So end of the day, total code, if you want to publish in the production environment, in the production server, okay, or also we will install Docker engine. Okay, we have to install the Docker engine. Okay, So on top of the production environment, okay, also it will work as a container and it will deploy, and no compatibility issues. No compatibility issues. Okay, if it is a Docker engine, if you install Docker engine here else. So if you create container, if you create image, these kind of images, okay, whatever the operating system, it will work as, it will work in Windows machine, Linux machine, Mac. Whatever on top of this mission, if you on top of this mission, Docker engine is the matter. Okay, on top of this Docker engine will create container. Now just forget about this. After installing the Docker engine, after installing the Docker engine, it is the matters. Docker engine, on top of Docker engine we will create containers. On top of create containers we will create images. Image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4, like this number of images. Okay, maybe if it is Linux, maybe if it is Windows, Mac, like that also we can do. Okay, there is no any kind of compatibility issues. How maybe whatever Docker run is running in this Windows machine, the same Docker engine will run as usual without any performance issues in this Linux also, and also Mac also. So this is the way. Okay, to avoid any kind of these kind of issues, so we have Docker is the concept. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is just theory, just short introduction about Docker. You understood? So let's let's close this, guys. So tomorrow, let me check if there is any theory pending. So I think almost I have covered. I think I covered what is virtual machine, what is Docker, what is the difference between Docker and virtual machine, what is the base machine, what is the use of base machine, okay, guest machine, whatever the guest machine, okay. By using that, what is the use of virtual machine, how we have to use the virtual machine. After using virtual machine, what are the issues they have faced earlier stage, okay. So to avoid this kind of issues, it is occupying, okay, if you install virtual machines, what will happen is entire system will be continuously, it will getting slow, performance will be degrade, okay, your processor performance will be degrade, okay. To avoid these kind of issues, we have a Docker concept. After getting the Docker, it completely all issues wiped out, okay. So this is the scenario, okay, this is all about introduction about Docker, okay. That's it, guys. I think, I hope you understood. If you have any kind of any silly questions, kindly ask me, we will discuss here itself.
No doubt, sir, as of now. Understood it clearly.
Yeah, this is the scenario. So you have to understand the main concept. If you understood the concept, so let's move into practicals. How to create the Docker, okay, how to build the images, okay, all these things one by one, okay, right. I think I think it's good enough. So next class we'll see about how to install the Docker, okay, and if there is a possibility, I will try to install the Docker, what is a Docker engine, okay. So by using Docker, how to create the containers, okay, what are the commands for that, and how to run the images, okay, how to create the images, what are the commands for it, okay. We'll discuss all about in next class, right?
Sir, one thing, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, you mentioned hypervisor in virtual machine.
Hmm.
Like in Docker, we have Docker engine, sir.
Yeah, Docker engine is actually one platform, okay. If you on top of this Docker engine, so you can create the containers like that, yes. For
Docker
suppose,
engine is installed on local system, sir.
yeah, if you Docker, uh, yeah, Docker engine is there. Okay, in local also we can do, and also on top of AWS, in AWS also we can do.
Yes,
In
sir. Yes, sir.
AWS, for suppose, um, in AWS we have some OS, right? Like for suppose, if it might be Linux, for suppose, by
Yes, sir.
using this Linux we will install Docker package from Docker Hub. So we will learn how to create the Docker Hub. So I did not discussed yet about Docker Hub. So this topic will come tomorrow. Okay, we will discuss next topic, Docker Hub. What is the use of Docker Hub? After creating Docker Hub, how we have to pull the images, existing images. Okay, so in this Docker Hub, it is a kind of central repository for the Docker. So you might have heard about GitHub, right? So it is a repository for Git, and Docker Hub is a repository for Docker. Okay, here already pre-builded images you might have. Okay, you can pull the images from Docker Hub. So let's see, we'll see this, how we have to create the Docker Hub account. So after that, how we have to pull the images, or in customized we can also able to create our own images. Okay, we can create our own images, and also we can pull the images from the Docker Hub. So we'll see all these things. Okay, there are ways. Okay, so we can do like that also, and also we can do like this is easy actually. Okay, to running the Docker engine application in the local machine, but we can also do that, and also we can do this, right? It is easy. Okay, let's we'll learn tomorrow how to install Docker in on top of your AWS machine,
Okay, sir.
right? That's fine, guys. We'll see in next class, Docker installations and all. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Excuse me, sir. Today will you take or tomorrow, sir?
Not sure, guys. I need to check my calendar, so I did not check yet.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So I don't know. Sometimes I can expect unscheduled meetings as well. So let's see. I will once after having conversation with my team, I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Let's see next class.
Right.
I will update you. Yeah.